I would rather be by myself than be around somebody who's not going anywhere. So that's the way I look at it.
I love that. You mentioned your mom and how she really focused on making sure you and your sister were readers, which I think
Yeah.
is incredibly powerful. As you started to change your mindset around what is possible and realizing it's up to you, stuff like that, were there people in your life that ended up being those crabs, right? Trying to pull you back down, or people like, come on, man, that's just a scam, or get rich quick schemes or anything like that? Did you have those naysayers?
Not really. I mean, of
Good.
course, if you engage in, I mean, anytime you jump in network marketing, you're going to get somebody telling you as a scam, as a pyramid
Sure.
scheme. Of course, you
Sure.
get a couple of those, but it wasn't anybody like super close. I mean, my dad was my first customer. So my parents became my first customer. My dad still, I believe, still has the service that he signed up for back like 20 years ago. I believe he
Really?
still has it. Yeah, I think he still had
Wow.
it. Last time I asked him, he still had it. So yeah, he got the service because it was actually a good product. So the product was nothing questionable about that. And as far as people trying to pull me down, not really, because first of all, Dino already had the pipe dream. I was going to become a professional athlete coming out of a Division III college. So
True.
I was
That's true.
already, yeah, I
People
was
are like,
already a little
whatever,
bit,
he's delusional, whatever.
yeah, I was already off the beaten path anyway. So getting into
They're like,
sales or
there's Dre again
yeah,
talking about his dreams.
exactly. That was almost like a step closer to the normal to get into sales rather than trying to be a pro
That's
athlete.
true.
That was an even crazier idea. So
That's true.
I think my parents were just hoping that I figured it out,
Yeah.
And like I said, my sister went on to be a professor. Everybody can understand that. Right? She followed the path, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, I was trying to be a pro athlete, and it was kind of shaky. The first couple of places I played, when the deal was over, I came back to my parents' home, right? So I think they're kind of looking at
Yeah.
each other like, I don't know, is this guy going to become something? Then I'm on the
Yeah.
internet. Like I have the YouTube channel. What's a YouTube in 2007? He has a
Right.
YouTube channel. Like, what is that?
Right.
So it wasn't until about 2009, 2010 when now you could find me on Google. Now I'm playing pro. Now this internet thing is a thing and I'm in it and I was known in it. And now it's like, oh, now he's a success, right? This is about 5 years after graduating, 5, 6 years after graduating. So nobody was really pulling me down to answer your question, but I think people are also kind of just looking and just trying to figure out,
Wait
is
and
this a
see.
thing that he's doing? Yeah. So then by about 2010, it was a thing and it was obvious. And now, no, you go on the internet. Now you can find me very easily.
Yeah.
I'm a thing. So now that's when it was like, okay, success.
So that's so important, right? The mindset that in some ways kind of sounds like it comes a little unnatural to you. I'm sure you, just like everybody else, have dealt with, whether it be imposter syndrome or negative thoughts or whatever, but when setbacks. But that mindset is so incredibly powerful and necessary in doing what you do. Nobody writes 31 books not thinking, yeah, people want to read this, or yeah, I've got something else to say.
Right.
Who the people that you surround yourself with now, are they how important are they in your life and building your business?
You mean like colleagues?
Yeah, just the people that you have in your business that help you with your business, and then the people that you spend the most time with.
But the people I talk to the most are all other entrepreneurs. For
Yeah.
the most part, these are other people who are in business, and we're all on the same path. We're all in the same boat, doing different things, different ways, but we're all going in that direction. So I don't think we were recording when we were talking about it. How at the ClickFunnels conference,
Yeah.
those are the kind of people that's where I reunite with people that I know, people I haven't seen, and a couple people I've met there that I need to call, as a matter of fact, today, just to follow up with them and stay in touch with. But those are the people I talk to, mostly are entrepreneurs. And it's funny that you use that phrase, the people that you surround yourself with. It's the thing is, I have staff, but they all work in the Philippines. So it's not like I'm shaking their hands every day.
Yeah.
But for me, what I tell people all the time is that these days you can surround yourself with people without actually knowing them. You can surround yourself with someone virtually. Like someone can subscribe to this show and they can surround themselves with Dino without ever meeting Dino. You just need to consume more of this stuff than of the nonsense.
Right.
And it's the same thing that you can do with books. The same thing you can do with courses or podcasts or a YouTube channel that has some actual substance or whatever it is. And you can choose your virtual mentors. You can choose your associates that way. So for me, the biggest thing is just getting around finding the right type of people who are talking about something useful. And that's the only stuff I subscribe to. I would rather be by myself than be around somebody who's not going anywhere. So that's the way I look at it.
I love that. When you meet with entrepreneurs, when you meet with business leaders, when you meet with teams, what do you feel like is their biggest mental block when they're not having the success that they want, or they're not actually achieving the goals that they say they want? What do you feel like is their biggest mental block?
Just the lack of mental toughness, the lack of discipline, which is usually just a reflection of them not having the results yet, so that they can say, okay, I haven't made a sale in 3 weeks, but I know I'm going to make a sale. You only get that when you kind of have gone through the experience and you've done it before. So what a lot of people need when they're just trying to get their footing is they need that support system around them. You need other people around you who are supporting you and reinforcing that this is going to work. You just need to keep plugging into the process. And this goes right back to what we talked about with network marketing. When you first start, most people who jump into network marketing haven't done any business before in their lives. This is their first entrepreneurial experience. And that's why they had those meetings three times a week. Right? That's the reason. So to keep you plugged in, to make sure that you stay plugged into somebody that's going to give you something positive. And that's why you have a team. That's why they tell you to buy the books. So you had a support. But an entrepreneur who's out there today, let's say somebody decides they want to hang up their shingle and they want to be a coach and they just want to start coaching. They're just going to start a coaching business right now from their home office. They don't have any of that system in place. There's no system. There's nobody to support them. There's no one for them to talk to on a regular basis. And this is why people like myself and yourself exist, where we have coaching businesses, we have consulting, we have group programs, we have these type of things when you know you're going to talk to somebody who's going to support you every week or every other week or 3 times a week when the group calls are, whatever it is. You need that support system. And everybody needs that in some way, shape, or form. Then when you have employment, you got it because you're there every day and you're talking to the people. But when you're an entrepreneur, you are out here on your own. You're in the jungle. And anybody watch National Geographic, those lions, you don't eat for a couple of weeks.
You don't want to be a wounded gazelle. You don't want to be
exactly.
A wounded gazelle. Yeah. Well, that's so true. And it is every day is a new adventure inside of being an entrepreneur. One of the reasons why we talk to unique entrepreneurs, and I think entrepreneurism in general is unique as it is, but unique entrepreneurs who've really taken their basic skill sets that they were sometimes born with, sometimes cultivated a little bit more, maybe a little bit of both, and actually turn that into not only a career, but a career that has had a massive ripple effect on other people. Who is it that you look to when you're looking for your ideal clients? Who do you love? What's the type of entrepreneur or person that you love to work with?
Excellent question. I'm looking for someone who, first of all, they understand the value of having coaching. I found in my experience in the coaching industry, the best clients, new clients to get are people who have coaches, who have had coaches before, because they know what it looks like, they know what it feels like, they know the process, they know how it goes, and they have a pretty good idea of what they want. So when they find someone like me, they know, all right, this guy has what I need. Let's get to work. And you're not really teaching them something new. They already know the deal. They just got tired of the old person, or they haven't had a person in a while. They just want a new person. They've identified me as that individual. So that's one thing. Secondly, is a person who they just understand the value of investing in themselves. Because again, as I said, they've already done it before, and they're clear on what they need. They know exactly what they want, and they know that I'm a person who can provide it. So this is a person who will say something like, and I have a very wide range of clients, just given my background. I have very eclectic clients that often come from industries that I've never worked in before. So I got finance people. I got people coming out of the military. I have people with brick and mortar business. I've never done any of those things, but they still come into my space because they like the way that I deliver, and they like for example, I'll give you an example. I have clients who are earning $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year in their businesses. And they say, well, Dre, is not the making more money thing. Of course, they want to make more money, but that's not the main thing they want from me. They want from me, well, look, I have gained 50 pounds because I'm at work all the time. I'm not spending as much time with my wife as I want to. I'm not working out like the way I used to. I'm not spending as much time with my kids. Can you help me get my off work life structured and scheduled and disciplined? Because I know you're big on the discipline thing, because they see I talk about it. Yes, I run my business, but I get up every day and I work out. I take a walk every day. I'm doing 10,000 steps a day. I eat no plant-based. I drink all this water. I show people that, and they hear me say it, even though that's not even the emphasis of what I'm trying to say. People catch little things. You don't even notice what people are catching about what you say. So it'll be something like that, or I'll have someone who is running a business and their business is growing every year, and they're like, well, I just don't feel like I have the personal confidence. Can you help me with the confidence piece? So about half the people who I work with, interestingly enough, is not because they need help with making money. It's not that we don't talk about making money, but that's not the main reason they come to me. They come to me because they're looking for something else that is not about the money, but they believe it will help the money. And then on the other hand, you do have the entrepreneurs, people who are transitioning out of full-time jobs. So they're making 200 grand a year and they want to replace that 200 grand with their business. And they want someone like me to help them just with the foundational pieces. You understand how to run, what marketing is, how to put together your business structure. How are you going to write this book? How are we going to sell it? Let's put together your sales funnel. So again, my clients run the gamut, but the main thing they want from me, to finally answer your question here, is when I ask them, what is it about my approach that really draws you in? And people say, Dre, I like the fact that you're no nonsense, you're straight to the point, you're no fluff, you're no BS. I like that you're real, I like that you're direct, I like, brass tacks. These are the kind of things I hear people say. And the funny thing is, and I tell people this all the time when I share that, is that they don't say anything about the tactical or strategic things that I talk about.
Right.
It has nothing to do with any of that. Even though I'm good at it, that's not what separates me, because there are a million people talking about this stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And again, it's not like I'm mediocre at it, but that's not the thing that is really bringing them in, because there's a lot of people doing that. What makes you really unique is your way of doing things, because that can't be replicated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with your company being called, work on your game, you can totally understand where people would see what you do and be like, well, there are multiple games we're playing, right? There's the mental
That's
game,
right.
there's the marriage game, there's the physical game, there's the business game. So you can help them tackle all of those things, which I'm assuming
Exactly.
has helped you in the creation of, well, there's something I haven't written a book about. Maybe I should write about that. And that's how you create even more
pretty
books.
much. Yeah, that's how I create all my content, the free and paid. Yes, it's based on, if I get asked the same question over and over again, let me create something to answer that question.
I love that. What was the first book that you published?
It was called Buy a Game, and that was the only book of mine that's a narrative book, and that was just for the athletes. And it was just me telling my story from when I first started playing up through college years. Every other book is nonfiction. Well, they're all nonfiction, but every other book is like a tactical, how-to, strategic stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
The framework type situation. And that one was
Exactly.
your story of how you got to there. I'm going to ask you a question. I know it's going to be hard to answer, but like asking, like, which is your favorite kid? Do you have a favorite book that you've written that still you go back to be like, oh, I'm so glad I wrote that? Hey, there's no reason to learn how to own your role on your own. If you like that clip, go ahead and click right here for another one. Or if you want to watch the entire podcast, go ahead and click right here. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.